Hi, this is Fred, FR5ED, the 5 is silent, here with a beer review. Today is another Cigar City offering. In fact, this is the very first Cigar City beer I ever tasted, and this was back in the spring of 2009. This is before, about a year before I actually discovered craft beer. And by discovered, I mean where the switch was flicked, where I actually had the aha moment. So this will be interesting. I have not had this beer since then, and it's very highly rated. As a matter of fact, on Rate Beer, it's rated at a 94 overall and a 98 in style, and that is after 849 reviews. On let's take a look at Beer Advocate. It is rated an 88, and that is after 1,513 reviews. So, you know, quite highly regarded. Commercial description, it's a hearty brown ale that benefits from the silky mouthfeel provided by oatmeal. Pairs great with cigars. That's how I first tasted this. The only time I tasted it. It was in a cigar bar down in Southwest Florida in the Naples area. And they had this on tap. And I thought, wow, Tampa has a brewery? I didn't know that. And so this is what they had, and I had it. And I remember liking it, but you know, again, it was not the epiphanical moment, if that's a word. But let's open it up. It's still a little cool yet. I've been holding on to it. But let's open it up. Oh, and by the way, it is 5.5% ABV, so it's a potential session beer. And there's another commercial description over on Beer Advocate. It says, pours brown in color with note of caramel, toffee, chocolate, and hints of espresso. Flavor has caramel toffee sweetness up front, interesting notes of chocolate and espresso with roasted peanut expression in the finish. Let's go ahead and pour this. Oops, let's make sure not pour it on the keyboard. All right. Obviously it's brown. It's Maduro colored. Maduro means ripe in Spanish, and that's often used to describe the cigar wrappers, the outer, leaf on cigars when they're a dark brown. The riper leaves of the cigar are sweet, typically sweeter than the natural. Anyway, that's cigar talk. So it formed about a 1 finger head or less, and it's not real dense. Of course, that was not a real active, vigorous pour. I'm trying to find a light source that'll come through here. Okay, seeing through the upper edge, looking at that, you can see it's kind of a medium brown color, and it is clear, and the head is dying away here. Let's give it a smell. Definitely smell. Oh, I smell some of the yeast, like bread dough, unbaked bread, and I'm smelling coffee, like ground coffee, and some dark chocolate. Now this is not a stout. In fact, it's not even classified as a porter. It's an English brown ale would be the category on Beer Advocate. And let's see, brown ale on Rate Beer. So even they don't agree on the style, but it's a brown ale, not a porter or a stout. But I'm getting some familiar roasted malt, coffee, dark chocolate notes that I do from a porter in stout. So let's give it a taste. Yes, definitely different from a stout and a porter. Now that I'm looking down through the color, it is definitely lighter than stouts and porters. The mouthfeel is not as heavy as a stout or an imperial stout. But it is very smooth. And that could be from the oatmeal. That can give it a smoothness, and it dries it out. It's not real sweet. It's on the dry side. Interestingly, oatmeal in the boil, in the grain bill, is also supposed to help with head retention, but not so much here. You can taste the coffee in it, and I did not see any mention of coffee, but it's definitely got a coffee, bit of a dark chocolate, but a coffee dark roasted malt taste. That's nice and smooth. I bet this is even better when it warms up. This is still not quite up to the upper 50s temperature that I would normally like to have it. Very smooth, very drinkable. It would not replace a porter or stout in my book. Maybe not quite the depth of flavors and intensities you get in a lot of those, but it's very good. If you're looking for a switch from an IPA or a pale ale, something that there's very little bitterness in this. It doesn't show any IBUs, but you know, it's just nice and drinkable with a dark roasted, you know, foundation to it. So I would highly recommend trying this. It is, wherever the can went, this is Cigar City Maduro Brown Ale. And this is Fred, FR5ED, over and out.